VoyMonk video voice vlog. Seemed like I kind of stumbled there for a second. Yeah, a thing I kind of wanted to talk about this week because I was mulling it over here real recently here, and I talked about the things that I like and I enjoy about YouTube as far as content, as far as watching other people's videos and things like that. I mean, not everything is a vlog, and not all vlogs are videos. Case in point by obviously this submission and the content that's in the video voice vlogs on here. But here's the thing, and I've touched on this before, and I'll probably touch on it again. I'll touch you here, touch you there, and it sounds weird. But anyways, God, that sounds really weird. That's better. I'd probably take that out. But anyways, content over production. Yeah. It's kind of the basics, I don't really care whether or not you're filming your vlogs with the potato. I don't care. I don't care if whether or not you are flashy. I don't care if whether or not you live in a trailer park or if you live in a mansion. What I care actually about is what you have to say and where it's coming from. And obviously, people have a lot to say in various forms, in different ways, for various different reasons. Be that as it is, that's okay. I mean, not all of it is interesting. Hell, most of the stuff that I'm saying probably isn't interesting or something that people are interested in or whatever. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Maybe it's just not for everyone. And I contend with that. But by the same thought, I also go into what I look for in the same way. Some people might consider my taste boring, and they probably are. And when I say that, compared to what, right? Because if it's compared to, like, say, a reality show where things are manipulated and there's a production and things are fed and things are, used in a way that gives it a lot more pizzazz and shine than it would otherwise normally have. And I get that. I'm not saying those things as though that's a bad thing. I'm just simply saying to you that, with the right amount of money, with the right amount of financing, you can literally make any of most of those cookie cutter things that I'm talking about. That doesn't necessarily, at least for me, make them interesting or special or, more importantly, anything that I want to watch or care about. That's the truth of it. Like I said, and this isn't meant to be a criticism. Like I said, it's meant to be I think more about substance than I care about flash in the pan and, something that's supposed to do something that ultimately never actually gets there, even under the best circumstances and the greatest promises of being able to do so. I am the kind of person that I could sit down and watch a film that is interesting and engaging and actually makes me care about the characters and the stories and the plot more than I care about whether or not the CGI on the latest whatnot was, quite as effective and interesting in that respect. And so when I talk about content and I say that, I'm boring, and I say that I kind of like boring vloggers and ASMRists, I don't know if that's a word, ASMR artists or people who make videos, like I said, I'm not particularly looking for someone also who's being a character or who's putting on. I mean, sometimes I do, but not necessarily always. And so I'm going to probably talk about that a little bit this week, along with some other things. But I just, I thought that was important, because you can't fake it, man. You can have all the money in the world, but if you, at the core, you don't have what it is that's interesting to me, then I couldn't care less. I like vloggers, and I hopefully, if you're listening to this, hopefully I can engage and see what you do as well, and hopefully as well you like what I do. I just blurted. Until next time, take care.